Actually, that's relatively new. Yeah, I still wouldn't drink it. But
not looking old. I put my readers on the back of my shirt.
Go get sick.
Y'all doing all right?
Doing good, Coach. How you doing, Coach Mo?
I'll tell you what, I'm 1,000 miles an hour. Just want to get better. Really just want to attack the grass and get better every day. I'm humble and grateful. I love this place. I do. I love being with Coach Key. I like the standard that we have here. I like the way we play football. I like what's going to go on in the future. If there's anybody you want to go fight for, that's a guy I want to fight for. I don't mince words. Everybody in my family knows how I roll. You know what I mean? And I told Coach Key, if I'm going to do things the way I know how to do them, the way we were trained to do them, and the era we were in coming up with the people we worked for, there ain't nobody I want to fight out of a corner more than him. And I think he knows that, and the standard's high. And when you love somebody and when you feel like you're working for family, sometimes it ain't even like working. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes that clock gets punched and you look at it, but when you're working for something and somebody that you really care about, and you know that, our kids have spent time together, you know what I mean? And our families have spent so much time together. And I'm absolutely blessed and humble and grateful, and trying to pour as much as I can every single day back into our kids here and back into this place, and just kind of keep stacking days. You know what I mean? I mean, really, like, spring ball is awesome because we can just focus on being the best version of ourselves sometimes. And a lot of times that battle is that battle. And in the room we're in, the O-line room, there's going to be some new faces. You know what I mean? Like some of those old heads that have kind of played a lot of football here, they've kind of moved on. So you're going to see some new faces and getting to see guys and what they're going to do with their new opportunity and helping them push past maybe some things, right? Because that's what we all do, right? I say it all the time. I learned more about my marriage in the inside run, right? When I broke my wrist and I was a fullback and they handed me the ball 6 times, Greg Davis down on the goal line, right, at that place. And I learned more about being a father, right, in some of those shoot drills with Steve Marshall. You know what I mean? And I learned more about like being a dude and being told things you don't like to hear, but understanding you have to hear them, right? Meeting somebody that you've never even seen that says, hey, by the way, grab your playbook and head on up to the GM's office because you're cut and you think you're good because you made it out of training camp, right? You're back on the home site, next cut's the 53, and you're gone. Right? You know what I mean? So life goes on. This place provides an opportunity for afterlife. I mean, you talk about what this place is. This place is a place for like a Keelan Rutledge to come do what he did, but a Joe Fusel. How about that guy, man? Holding it down, engineer, you know what I mean? Like just killing it. December grads, both of them. One going this way, one going that way, both doing life, right? So just there's a lot of opportunity here. And I'm just fired up to be able to do this with people that I know, because I did have the opportunity to come back, right? And it happened fast. It was 1,000 miles an hour. And I think if anybody else had called, like you get that call and you're thinking, okay, yeah, we'll talk about this in January or whatever goes on. It's like, no, not really. We're kind of going to talk about it like I need you here in a couple of days. And I'm like, bro, okay, well, here we go, right? So now all of a sudden that thing gets, you figure out how to drop the clutch and grab a gear and keep on moving, you know what I mean? So things just kind of escalate and go faster. So how's that, bro? We doing okay?
Questions for offensive line coach Al Mogridge? Rod?
Coach, Malachi was moved inside.
Yes, sir.
Was that a result of how well Jameson was playing, or is there some other reason?
You know what? We talk about opportunity and we talk about growth and development. And the best thing I can say about offensive line play, right? A lot of people don't know this. I mean, I did play O-line, but I played 4 other positions before O-line. And sometimes we're a little bit like bamboo. Like that's the equation I get. Like sometimes, man, these guys show up and you just plant them in the dirt. And what you'd love to do with every one of them when is redshirt them, like feed them raw meat and gunpowder and put them in the weight room with some crazy people, right? Because eventually what's going to happen is that thing's going to sprout. And you talk about like a Jameson Riggs and a Malachi. Like when bamboo grows, it grows and it just shoots up, right? You can do the research on it. I won't bore you with that. But like it grows. And so like what we were able to see that like this guy can probably do some things that he's better suited for in here, and it takes a guy being able to push and be on the come. So I'm very excited about both of those kids. You know what I mean? Because their growth and development, I mean, I can say this, the intentionality, I don't know, is that a word? It's like, if it is, it's an SAT word, right? It's one of those big ones, and I'm from Sevierville, so, yeah. Anyway, but Jamison Riggs, right? And I mean, like, I'm going to keep pressing him, I'm going to keep going at him, but this dude, you talk about purpose-driven days. Right? He has something he wants, and he's intentional when he meets. He's intentional when he speaks. He's intentional when he practices, right? And now it's just kind of keeping the level coming. And does that give you what you need right there?
Yeah.
So I think we've got some young guys that we're all pretty excited about. You know what I mean? And like I said at the beginning of this thing when I stood up here, man, there's going to be some new faces. It's time. You know what I mean? It's time for some guys that when I was here 2 years ago that we recruited to see these guys kind of, okay, dude, here it is, man. Now these spots start opening up and you can move some things around and it's your time to go, right? It's kind of like the same thing. Like I have a house full of athletes, right? And I mean, from a very early age, that's kind of what we said to our girls, right? Hey, you got to press every day, right? Because the competition's not against him. Like this isn't Jamison versus Malachi. It's not. This is Malachi versus the stress on the other side. This is Jamison versus Mo and Azir and the DNs that are here. And the D-tag, whatever. Right? So it's you versus you, and you got to figure out how to manage those moments. Right? And we're not backing off, man. The install is going to be the install, and we're going to keep pressing, and we're going to have days, and you got to learn how to manage those things, right? The best thing we can do for both those kids is teach them how to constantly be in a growth mindset. How can we have a better Thursday? Right? I mean, hey, Tuesday did some good things. Okay, how can we make Thursday better? And how can you not be satisfied with it not being better? And that's how the growth and development happens, and it's the mindset. And that's why this is an awesome place to work, because of the culture that's been established here. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why you can go to another place and come back and feel, you can feel it. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing this a long time there, Flynn. You know what I mean? Like you kind of look up and you're like, this is year 26 going into on this side of the grass, plus all the times I played. Is that good? Does that give you what you need?
Yeah,
yes, sir. Perfect.
What I want.
I just want to make sure you got what you need.
Kelly.
Mo, both you have Joe, the new center, and
Yeah.
working Will and some other guys, and I even saw Blake out there today. Just
Heck
how
yeah.
do you guys like? How's that looking, and kind of what do you see from there? And what
We're training them every day, right? I mean, we're training them, and we got to be in a growth mindset with everything we do, right? There's a brand new system. There's a brand new communication pieces, brand new things that they're not used to. So everything's out of the comfort zone. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, I think Will was an edge player
Yeah.
in his previous stops, and you know what? Hats off to him for being a team guy, right? And for being a guy that is willing to step outside his comfort zone and grow. Now, I'm not giving him a pass. Trust me, no one's harder on those guys than me, right? I attack them all, but I'm not attacking a kid. I'm attacking the action, right? I mean, that's the hardest thing for young people, right? I mean, you come into a situation, you come into a place, and they don't understand that, bro, we do film everything. You can't hide from that. You can't, right? You know what I mean? You can say a lot of things, but when we turn on that film, it's going to tell us the truth. Right? You can say, you can present it, whatever you want to present. Man, I'm the toughest guy in the room. Are you really, bro? Look at that. Right there. You know what I mean? So for Will, just to keep it again, we're trying to stack days and we're trying to just be better. We're trying to make a new mistake. I'm trying not to come in here and have to correct the same thing over and over and over. You know what I mean? And a lot of that goes back to like how I was trained a million years ago. You know what I mean? Back when I was a dinosaur and coach, you know, and the place I played and those guys, I mean, it was like every spring. Hey man, I need a tight end. Hey man, I need a DN. Hey man, you know what I mean? We're going to move you to fullback. And then eventually it's like, hey dude, do you want to shot at the next level? Yeah, okay, well you need to gain about 50 more pounds. Because that's going to get you, and plus there was this dude named Algie Crumpler, right? I mean, he's pretty good. You know what I mean? I think he still lives there in town. But yeah, that answers the question on Joe. Like I'm excited about those guys, right? They continue to stack days, show up every day. You know, sometimes you got to just do the Navy SEALs motto is just sometimes it may not look the way you want it to look. You just embrace the suck and keep on moving. You know what I mean? Take the coaching and grow, right? I mean, that's what we're doing here. Make no mistake about it, man. I fight every day with myself, right? I mean, we're building men, dude. We're the last line unless we send them to the military. You know what I mean? Like at some point, that dude deciding to leave Princeton as a tackle, come here and learn how to be a center, that's going to make him a better husband and a father and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, man, we're trying to build men. You know what I mean? And men have to do dirty things sometimes, man. It ain't pretty. Sometimes your hands get really dirty and you get really tired and you get really sore and you get frustrated and people can't see you break, right? And Beelan moving up, I mean, that's like a thing. We'll see where that goes. You know what I mean? And we have, so yeah, we're rolling. But I'm excited about those kids. I'm just humble and grateful that it's a shared experience because we were together 2 years ago. And when I was able to come back, and I'm humble and grateful that I was able to get back and be able to be here and fight with someone that you believe in his process, right? I mean, it just like the grind's the grind. Everybody knows, right? You can Google like there was a coach in the NFL say, hey, I see my kid like how many days. The grind's the grind. It's what we do, right? It's a calling. You know what I mean? It really is. It really is. I think Key and I were laughing the other day. We were just talking about like now we're both raising kids and thinking about how many kids we've actually raised. Right? I mean, how many lives we've been able to be a part of over our journey together. And make no mistake about it, man. We got to get better. We got to get better. We got to get better. We will get better. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep fighting average. We're going to fight comfort every single day. You know what I mean? We're going to fight because what the human body wants to do is, like you want to go lay on your pillow and grab another 5 minutes. Right? You want to curl up in the fetal position, man, and get your nookie and maybe have something warm to drink. We're going to fight complacency. We're going to fight average, and we're going to get better. We're going to kick out of like, hey, Will, you know what, man? You ain't got time, bro. Last time I checked, this is your last year of eligibility. We're going to get this done, man. I'm right here with you. Lock arms with me. I've got your 6. Let's go. You know what I mean? Is that good? You okay? Okay, cool.
It's perfect.
What do you need?
Yeah, Coach, man, I was kind of, how sometimes we talk about, go back to Malachi Carney, him coming down inside. A lot of people talk about how, he's a phone booth guy. Can you explain
what a phone booth guy is?
Yeah,
well, he's huge. I don't know if he would fit in a phone booth. but what it means is like guys that have he does have some traits, right? Yeah. And when you say put him in a phone booth, that just means limit the space. You know what I mean? Like every dude, and I was a dude that this happened to, every dude that's ever played tackle that moves inside, you're like, oh no, dog, I kind of like this because you got a dude over here and a dude over here, and if you've got some ability, right, and you've played in space, now you learn to play out of space, right? So when you can eliminate the space, that's called playing in the phone booth, right? And that's where like I think as you listen to people talk about Keelan Red in the draft, and that's one of the comments they make. They say he plays so well in the phone booth. That just means when he gets his hands on you, he's going to rough you up, right? And it's going to be a long day. And anytime you can eliminate that space, right? Because the tackles do play out on an island sometimes, right? And you do play in space, but playing in the phone booth just means, hey, we're going to eliminate some of that air. We're going to take that air out, and we're going to let you use your traits and your ability and the things God's gifted you with, and we're going to teach you how to play with them in a tighter space, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And yeah, he's a big, powerful man. That's a big guy. He's athletic too. I mean, he is. You guys that have seen Georgia Tech play, I mean, you see him out there on the right tackle. He's a big man. You know what I mean? We're managing that too. You know what I mean? When you talk about attacking, what needs to be attacked. But yeah, I think is that what you need?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what it is. It helps him upward. You know what I mean? Like for his ability. Now, the one thing I will say, things happen a lot faster in there. So there's a learning curve with that too, right? And as anybody that's played the position and got to move inside, some things get easier, but some things get more complex. You know what I mean? So but again, that's all part of what we're doing right now, right? We're growing, you know what I mean? And believe it or not, it's a blessing in disguise to have a couple guys that aren't participating, because that opens up more reps for some other guys that have high hopes as well, and that need the development and need the reps. And you think about those two twins that came. I mean, them dudes, man, they're rolling. I mean, there ain't no slowing down for them. They might have thought they'd be here watching, holding their helmet. I can promise you they're not. You know what I mean? So everybody's kind of getting work, and we're all pushing our level of play, and we're pushing each other. And competition is a healthy thing, right? As long as we can stay on what matters, right? Now, we don't want to get in comparison. We want to get into competition, right? We don't want to get into comparison. We want to get into competition. Like, I want you to be the best version of yourself every single day. And sometimes you have to coach each one of these guys different, and that goes back to relationship, right? And everything about this thing is how good's your relationship with your guy. Because when you can tear down a wall, or if there is a wall, and you can pull a few bricks back, right? And they check the ego at the door, that's when you grow. You know what I mean? And this is a different world for athletes right now. It really is, right? I mean, you guys see it. It's probably a hot topic and all that conversation. But we try to be relational, right? We try to get to know these guys, right? I mean, it fired me up when they launched the space shuttle the other day. Jameson Riggs walking around with his phone. He's like, "Hey, Coach, what's going on?" I'm like, "Yeah, show me, dude." Like, and we watched the thing go off, right? We watched the thing go off because, you know, that's his deal. You know what I mean? It's his deal. Everybody's got their deal, right? You know what I mean? And like, that goes back to, like, you have to know, because kids want to grow. Kids want coach. Kids want this environment. Kids want a standard. Believe it or not, I don't care. Like, I want a standard. I want pushed. You know what I mean? No, let's not kid ourselves. Part of the reason I came back here was the growth and development that I could get. You know what I mean? Like, we've got a great staff here. And we got a great culture to work in. You know what I mean? And there's a standard around here. And sometimes we all need that, right? We used to call it catfishing each other, man. When are you going to be comfortable enough with your growth and development to catfish you? "Hey, dog, I need a little more from you. Hey, dog, you kind of dogging it over there. That set was dog. We can do better." Now you're nipping at each other. Now you're catfishing each other. And it's competitive. It's not, you know, comparison. It's competitive. "Hey, man, I know you can be a better tackle than that. Hey, Malcolm, I know you can be a better guard than that. Come on, dog." Like, bro, it's not. And listen, it's the same frustrations anytime you do something new, right? Like, I'm sure, like, if I were in sales and then I came over to do this, or if I left this and went over to do something, I'm sure I would be frustrated. Sure, I wouldn't know what the hell I was doing at some point. You know what I mean? And there's a growth development with that. But can you turn it into a learning experience, and can you have your relationship right so that we want to grow, so that we can stay hungry? Does that make sense? And that's kind of what we're all trying to do, right? I'm just trying to be a better version of myself, like in the next 30 minutes than I am right now. And I'm trying to find some way to do that, right? And I need help a lot of times. I need my peer group. I need my teammates. I need my staff. Sometimes I just need somebody to be like, "Dog, we can be better. I want us to be better. Here's how I would do it. Here's how you'll do it. Let's find a way." Right? Fair? Yeah, and that's kind of what we're trying to, you know, like, this thing ain't rocket science. You know what I mean? Everybody's got plays, everybody's got a system, everybody's got dudes. It's can we get the dudes to do the things we need to do to be successful? You know what I mean?
We're going to go ahead and bring in the players. So,
Yeah,
thank you.
You guys do it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.